will क्यों बनाते हैं? will का मतलब क्या है? will is the last wish of a person. That is how originally, that was the origin of the concept of a will, was a wish, last wish of a person. He could simply write it on a simple piece of paper, his last wish, and that would be considered a will. But look today, with so much of disputes going on for properties, endlessly between siblings, between relatives, that will holds so much of importance today. And still understanding that how important a document, a will is, people still do not do it correctly. They still do not understand that how important it is to create a will or to make a will within the legal parameters. लोग सोचते हैं एक वसीयत बना ली, हम अमेरिका में रहते हैं, हमने अमेरिकन प्रॉपर्टीज़ के लिए वसीयत वहाँ बना के छोड़ दी है, उसके अंदर इंडियन प्रॉपर्टीज़ नहीं लिखी, बट लेट इट बी डिवाइडेड जो हमने वसीयत में लिखा है. It's very difficult to implement things in India or implement these wills in India. How will you execute a will which is made in a country like US, where you do not mention your properties of India, you do not mention your assets of India, and yet expect the courts in India to accept that will? So here I am today wanting to explain to you that if you are living abroad, you have properties in India, and you want to let your beneficiaries get those properties in a very dignified way and maintain the dignity of something that you have created, how should you do it? So if you are a resident or a citizen of another country, आप एक will बना रहे हैं, उस will को आप mention करिए, उस will में आप अपने lawyer को, उधर अगर आप American lawyer या English lawyer use कर रहे हैं, तो उसमें mention करवाइए अपनी Indian assets properly. उसमें mention कराइए आपके 4 बच्चे हैं, जिसमें से 2 बेटे हैं, 2 बेटियां हैं, या 3 बेटे हैं, 1 बेटी है, या 3 बेटियां, 1 बेटा. Mention that. और आप किस बच्चे को किस reason से क्या क्या दे रहे हैं. So let's say you have 2 daughters, you have 2 sons. आपने अपनी property अपने 2 बेटों को देनी है, बेटियों को नहीं देनी है. So you mention that I have 4 children, out of which I would want my Indian estate to go to my 2 sons. And how you would want those 2 sons to inherit that Indian estate. And why are you cutting the line of succession? आप अपनी बेटियों को क्यों नहीं दे रहे हैं, वो mention करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. More so, what I feel and suggest that why not make a separate will for your assets in India? Make a separate will. आप बाहर रहते हैं, आप Indian High Commission में जाके एक notary public उस country से आप 2 witnesses को लेके आप एक lawyer के through एक will बनवाइए अपनी Indian estate के लिए. उसमें mention करिए आपकी 10 properties हैं, इंडिया में 2 हैं, 1 है, जितनी भी हैं उनको mention करिए, कितने बच्चे हैं, किसको आपने क्या property देनी है, उसको elaborate करिए. और उसके अंदर make sure करिए 2 witnesses हैं जो कल को अगर ये will challenge होती है या हमें इसे court में establish करना है और execute करवाना है, तो उनमें से एक witness can come to the court and say that these contents of the will were made and written in front of me. जिस इंसान ने ये वसीयत बनाई है, he was absolutely in a sound mind when he was making it. He did not suffer from any mental disorder or mental illness. These are points which a person must consider. It so happens that people think making a will abroad and mentioning everything covers up everything. No, it is not so. A will abroad is a will abroad. You have to prove it in India. Now, when you have to, let's say, even if you're getting it done from your lawyer abroad, आपने एक will बनाई है जिसके अंदर you have included everybody. You've included everything. You've included your assets in India. You've included your assets abroad. Every global assets include करी हैं. आपने सब कुछ उसमें लिखा है. आपके 2 बेटे हैं, 2 बेटियां हैं. बेटों को दे रहे हैं, बेटियों को नहीं दे रहे हैं. But the most important will be 2 witnesses to that will, because as per the Indian Evidence Act, one witness has to come step into the witness box to prove the contents of the will. Now, the situation is, can your lawyer, if your lawyer is a foreigner, would he be ready to come down to India and be a witness? And 90% chances of them coming down to India are zilch. So henceforth, it is the best thing to do to have 2 people you trust wholly and solely, that they can come down to India if needed, if there is a dispute in your children. If there is a dispute between your children, that yes, this is the will and this was the last wish of a person. This is specifically for people who have assets in India. The relationship between children might not be cordial even during your lifetime. This is for people who want to divide their assets in an equal way, but do not want to tell their children during their lifetime that how they wish to divide their assets. One of the witnesses must come down to India to prove the contents of the will. Will is a very important document for people who do not divide their assets during their lifetime. Will is such an important document that it will take care if there is a dispute between the brothers and the sisters or the family. But please make sure that this document that you're leaving behind for the inheritance of your property is done in a very legal manner. Otherwise, the document loses its validity completely. Imagine you make a will abroad, you do not mention your assets in India, or even if you do mention your assets in India, you do not have anybody who can come to India and give a step into the witness box. क्या फ़ायदा होगा उस will का? It's an absolutely a useless document. Similarly, आपने एक will India में बना दी है. It's a unregistered document or a registered document, but both the witnesses tomorrow refuse to step into the witness box or do not come to the court. Then what is the point of that document? So make sure that when you do a document as important as a will, whereby जो आपकी पूरी ज़िंदगी की कमाई हुई पूंजी है आप अपने बच्चों और अपने फैमिली में डिवाइड करने जा रहे हो, it is also done with thorough legal advice and in a proper manner, so that after your death and after you're gone, the properties are inherited in a more dignified way